What if everything you thought you knew about life's timeline is wrong? While society pushes for early success, there's a hidden truth few ever discover. The most profound awakening doesn't happen at 25 or 30, it arrives at 40. If you've ever felt out of place, like your real purpose has been waiting just beneath the surface, this is the moment you've been preparing for. Welcome to the journey where past struggles transform into stepping stones, and where your soul's true calling finally comes into focus. Get ready, because your greatest chapter is about to begin, and it starts right now. Many chosen ones find that their early years feel like an unending struggle. High school or college might pass in a blur of trying to fit in, navigating cliques and societal expectations. The 20s may usher in the weight of building a career or forging relationships that often turn out to be learning experiences more than lifelong fixtures. During these initial decades, life can feel like a turbulent sea, with waves of confusion constantly threatening to pull you under. You may wonder, why am I always the odd one out? Why do I crave something deeper than the surface-level ambitions everyone else seems satisfied with? Although these questions linger, answers remain elusive. The spiritual dimension of life may whisper, but is easily drowned out by the noise of day-to-day responsibilities. You find yourself shaped by cultural narratives of what you should achieve and how quickly you must achieve it. Yet beneath the surface, something is growing, an inner seed of wisdom, planted by your soul the moment you were born, nurtured by every challenge and heartbreak you face. You might not see it clearly when you're 20 or 30. Still, it's there waiting, preparing, biding its time until you are ripe for an awakening. When you approach 40, perhaps without any loud fanfare at first, sometimes it's just a creeping sense of change, an inescapable awareness that your values are shifting. Where you once sought external validation, you now crave internal peace. Where you once chased goals set by others, you now yearn for your soul's calling. But why 40? Why not 25 or 30? In many spiritual traditions, 40 carries symbolic weight. It signifies a period of trial and testing, followed by renewal. It suggests a deepening maturity, an alchemy of experiences transforming into wisdom. For the chosen one, this milestone becomes a cosmic tipping point. It's as if every lesson from minor disappointments to major life crises accumulates, forming a tapestry that only now, at 40, you can finally step back and observe in its entirety. No single thread alone reveals the meaning. It is the grand interweaving that does. And so, we arrive at the reasons behind this profound shift, the reasons why the life of a chosen one truly begins at 40. These reasons are not random rules but markers of personal evolution, spiritual readiness, and divine timing. Hit the subscribe button for more life-changing insights and share this video with someone ready to rise above limiting beliefs. Ready to claim your awakening? Comment chosen below to affirm that you're stepping into your next chapter of purpose and power. Reason 1. Mastering the art of letting go. Looking back at your 20s and 30s, you might see a pattern. Clinging to painful relationships for fear of being alone, holding on to outdated self-images because you are afraid of the unknown, or desperately seeking approval from figures of authority in your life. Perhaps you realized only in hindsight how often you defended or kept alive aspects of your life that no longer served your highest good. Yet the letting go did not happen suddenly or effortlessly. It required a subtle but persistent unraveling of attachments over many years. You might have had to endure heartbreak, disillusionment, or waves of disappointment. In truth, every misstep or betrayal was secretly shaping your capacity to release. By the time you reach 40, you are more adept at discerning what must stay in your life and what must go. Holding on to people and beliefs that only weigh you down becomes unbearable. Instead, you begin to see letting go not as an act of giving up, but as one of personal liberation. You are making space for what truly nurtures you. You realize letting go is not losing. It is a conscious choice to say yes to a better, more authentic version of yourself. Freed from the baggage of old stories and toxic influences, you notice a new lightness in your being. In that space, fresh opportunities and healthier relationships naturally step forward, answering the call of your newly elevated energy. This mastery of letting go, refined through decades of trial and error, is one of the first great pillars of your life's unfolding at 40. Reason 2. The illusion of time no longer controls you. For most of your youth, it's likely you felt a sense of racing against the clock. Society says you must complete your education by a certain age, land a stable job, own a home, marry, have children, and check off a list of socially approved milestones. The pressure can be suffocating. Each birthday can feel like an ominous reminder of all that remains undone. But at 40, a new kind of internal clarity emerges. You discover that the most worthwhile achievements in life seldom conform to a rigid timeline. Instead, they unravel with impeccable synchronicity, adhering not to human schedules but to cosmic or divine timing. The fear of falling behind diminishes. You realize that every breakthrough, whether emotional, financial, or spiritual, arrived precisely when you were truly ready for it, not a moment sooner. This realization dissolves the stress and anxiety that once accompanied each birthday, each new job, or each perceived delay. Now, rather than forcing outcomes, you allow them to unfold. You live with time, not against it. You move with intentionality instead of desperation. This liberation from the ticking clock grants peace of mind, making space for creativity, depth, and the authentic living you once only dreamed of. Reason 3. You have discovered your true purpose. In your earlier years, you may have dabbled in different careers, relationships, and hobbies, searching for something that resonated with the core of your being. Each endeavor might have been exciting at the start, but a persistent restlessness lingered. Or perhaps every accomplishment felt incomplete, as though missing some vital layer of meaning. Yet every twist in the road, every false start, and every success or failure contributed puzzle pieces to the grand design of your life. With each experience, you gathered insights. Where once these pieces appeared scattered and random, at 40, they begin to assemble into a coherent picture. Suddenly, it clicks. The job you disliked might have sharpened your communication skills. The heartbreak you endured opened you up to compassion and empathy. The spiritual or personal development course you almost dismissed provided a framework for your deeper calling. You find that you now possess a toolkit of skills and perspectives that is strikingly suited to a specific purpose. By 40, the door to your true calling stands open, beckoning you to enter. You might still have to take a leap of faith, but this time, your uncertainty is tempered by hard-won wisdom. You realize that everything in your life was orchestrated to get you here, to this very threshold. Finally, you are ready to cross over. Reason 4. You no longer seek external validation. In our youth, most of us yearn for acceptance. Whether that acceptance comes from parents, teachers, peers, or society at large, it can dictate our choices and shape our sense of self-worth. We measure our success through grades, promotions, and the opinions of those in our circle. Even subtle hints of disapproval can send us spiraling, but upon reaching 40, something shifts. The foundation of your identity solidifies, largely because you've endured enough highs and lows to recognize what truly matters. You realize that another person's approval, no matter how important they seem, never fully satisfies the longing within you for self-acceptance. This newfound self-assuredness brings an extraordinary sense of freedom. You stand behind your decisions, beliefs, and lifestyle with less need for explanation or justification. Releasing the weight of external judgment allows you to be unapologetically yourself. It's a liberation that not only benefits you, but also inspires others to trust themselves more fully. Reason 5. Your spiritual awakening intensifies. Spirituality, for many, starts as a tiny spark, maybe an inkling that there is more to life than meets the eye. In your teens or 20s, you might have had moments of transcendence or felt inexplicably drawn to meditation, prayer, or philosophical inquiry. However, The hustle of early adulthood often reduces spiritual pursuits to a faint whisper in the background of daily obligations. By the time you're 40, however, these whispers become impossible to ignore. Repeated patterns, unexplained coincidences, and serendipitous encounters accumulate to the point where you can't help but see a guiding hand in your life's journey. A gentle nudge from the universe evolves into a firm push. You recognize that your consciousness is expanding, and you begin to experience a more robust, interconnected view of reality. Meditation, journaling, or time spent in nature no longer feels like a hobby. It becomes a sacred lifeline that continually grounds and refines your spirit. You may feel more intuitive reading situations and people with a surprising clarity. In essence, your spiritual senses intensify, growing sharper and more reliable. This deeper connection to the divine, or whatever name you give that higher power, simultaneously anchors you and propels you onward. Reason 6, your energy becomes more powerful. For decades, you might have absorbed negativity from toxic relationships or self-sabotaging beliefs. You may have let people who drained your spirit linger in your life, unsure how to create boundaries or worried about the consequences of standing firm in your power. At 40, you step more firmly into your energetic sovereignty. Through experience and spiritual awakenings, you learn how to sense the vibrational tone of a person, place, or situation. Where once you might have stayed in uncomfortable scenarios out of politeness or insecurity, you now trust your instincts. You walk away from what no longer feels aligned and confidently move toward the people, opportunities, and environments that uplift your energy. With this shift, your capacity to manifest your desires grows exponentially. Through tools like visualization, gratitude, and clear intention setting, you see how swiftly you can shape reality. The stronger your alignment with your internal truth, the more seamlessly events in the external world rearrange themselves to match that frequency. Rather than feeling swept along by life, you become a conscious co-creator of it. Reason 7, embracing solitude without loneliness. Solitude is often painted in dark colors during our younger years, dreaded as a sign of social failure or personal alienation. Many individuals fill their calendars with endless meetups, parties, and distractions to avoid being alone. The concept of FOMO, fear of missing out, reigns supreme for the chosen one. Solitude begins to shift dramatically around 40. You realize that being alone can be deeply nourishing, a space for introspection, creativity, and communion with your higher self. The fear of missing out gives way to a profound appreciation for tuning in to your own soul's whispers. This does not mean you shun companionship. Rather, you become more selective in how and with whom you spend your time. The solitude you once avoided becomes a cherished sanctuary where you recharge, reflect, and realign. Loneliness in the desperate sense fades, replaced by a peaceful sense of connectedness to something greater than yourself, even when no one else is in the room. Reason 8, you finally live for yourself. For years, sometimes decades, you may have contorted yourself to fit molds laid out by society, family, or cultural norms. You pursued degrees or jobs that looked respectable. You followed trends to feel accepted. You played the roles you believed were necessary to make others comfortable or proud. Yet, these roles rarely fulfilled your soul's deeper yearning. The friction of trying to match external expectations with your inner reality might have caused stress, anxiety, or a persistent sense of emptiness. By 40, you realize life is simply too precious to live according to someone else's blueprint. This is not an act of selfishness. On the contrary, it's a bold move toward authenticity, which ultimately radiates outward, benefiting everyone in your life. As you align with your soul's calling, whether it's writing, teaching, building a business, traveling, or engaging in meaningful service, you discover an unshakable sense of purpose and joy. That joy, in turn, inspires others to do the same. You create boundaries where there were none. You speak your truth without apology, and you honor your dreams with the attention they deserve. Your personal freedom doesn't sever connections with loved ones. Rather, it teaches them that they too can live authentically and fully. Reaching 40 is not about lamenting lost youth or clinging to fleeting memories of your 20s and 30s. Quite the opposite. It's a glorious threshold, the culmination of profound lessons that have prepared you for a new chapter of depth, purpose, and wisdom. Those who recognize themselves as chosen ones, or who resonate with this sense of spiritual calling, come to understand that their journey was intricately designed by the universe. Every heartbreak, every triumph, every dead-end job, and every surprise opportunity was part of a cosmic jigsaw puzzle that finally fits together around age 40. Now, you stand at the dawn of a new era in your life, equipped with experience, insight, resilience, and clarity. You see illusions for what they are. You focus your energy where it serves you best. You trust divine timing, release what no longer serves you, and remain open to deeper spiritual revelations. You understand the power of solitude, no longer craving external approval. In short, you become your own guiding light, and in doing so, you walk the path you were meant to travel all along. If this narrative resonates with your soul, honor this alignment. Reflect on how each reason ties into your journey. Reaffirm your commitment to growth, authenticity, and self-discovery. You may even choose to mark this moment with a simple affirmation, typing 1111 in your journal or whispering it in your meditations as a potent symbol of your readiness for the next phase of your life's evolution. Remember, 40 is not an end. It's a beautiful, thrilling beginning. Your best chapters are still unwritten, and the universe eagerly awaits the magnificent story you'll share with the world. The deeper you sink into your authentic self, the greater your capacity to illuminate the path for others, ultimately creating a ripple of awareness that transforms countless lives. Welcome to the next phase of your epic journey. Embrace it wholeheartedly, knowing that every painful lesson, every triumphant joy has led you here to the threshold of your grandest becoming. The best is yet to come.